This is Business LO, a podcast by the Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce, which connects, educates, advocates, and champions our business community. We have nearly 500 members from international corporations to home-based businesses, and we serve them all. Each episode of Business LO gives insider information to the local business community and the neighbors who support them. And now, let's talk Business LO.
Today is April 27th, 2026, and this episode will be published on May 1st. I'm so excited to talk with our special guest today on this episode, a talented administrator and a compassionate leader. She exemplifies student-centered leadership and has a deep commitment to educational excellence. It's Lake Oswego's own Dr. Jennifer Schiele, Superintendent of the Lake Oswego School District, the #1 school district in Oregon, and is frequently recognized among the top districts in the nation, often placing within the top 3% of all U.S. high schools. She's been working in the district since 2003 and holds a doctorate in educational leadership and administration from Lewis and Clark College. Plus, along with LOSD Executive Director of Communications, Mary Kay Larson, she produces an award-winning podcast called Learning in Lake Oswego, heard wherever you get your podcasts. Leading the conversation is everyone's favorite chamber member, Heather Graves Ramsey, owner of Coach to Brilliance. She specializes in executive coaching and leadership development. And of course, Chamber CEO Liz Hartman has essential insider info with what you need to know in LO. I'm Michelle Odell. Let's discuss how LOSD impacts our business community. Heather, it's all you.
One of the things I think about with this school district is how engaged you are in the community. You're out there with the city, you're at Rotary, you're at the chamber, being on the chamber board and watching over the last few years just how much you care about not only your students, but also the connection with our business community, I find to be inspiring. It's something that we totally appreciate and need here. So I think today in our podcast, our hope is to really just see a little bit more about what are some of the ways that the school district is helping to elevate Lake Oswego and the business community here. The school district, top in the nation, lots of things going for them. When we're talking about career training opportunities, what are some of those opportunities that we have here in LOSD for our students?
I would say our biggest connection there is probably with our CTE programs, which is our career technical education programs. And they are our programs that emphasize that real world skills and practical knowledge in specific career areas. So in Lake Oswego, we have 4 pathways at this time, and we have marketing, engineering, culinary arts, and computer science. And every year, we actually look to see if we want to expand those. How would we expand those? It's not only that you have to have a teacher who's endorsed in CTE, you have to have the right space for the course. So we're always kind of looking at that and where our students want to be. They definitely have opportunities for internships and mentoring and that project-based learning that's so important. That's where I would probably see more connection between the business world here in LO and our students.
Yeah, what are some examples of businesses that are bringing in students for internships and mentoring?
We have a few. We don't have as many as people would think. We are still pretty traditional school as far as what courses we offer in the classes that students prefer to take. But one thing that has come up in the last few years, which has been fantastic, is partnering with Biotronics for Women in Science. That has been really a fantastic experience for our students, and it really ties in that professional engineering and biotech engineering with our high school students. And they get to go there for the day. They learn from the professionals there. They get to take a tour of their plant. They also get to dissect heart. I mean, they get to do a lot of very fun things, and our students love doing it. So much so that we hear that when they go to college, they want to internship for them. And so I do hear a lot of the connections of people asking me to write recommendations back from the experience they had at Biotronics. We also have a lot of parents actually in our community that work for Intel or other local tech companies. So we see a lot of those parents, and actually not even parents, but just people who live in the community who want to support our robotics team. So a lot of them mentor our students in our fantastic robotics team, which is hundreds of students. So that's an area that is really fantastic here in Lake Oswego. We also have our community transition program, which is another strong example of how we use the community. It supports our students with learning delays as they transition to adulthood. So this is our 18 to 21-year-old students. We work with new seasons, hunger fighters to have that real-world job experience. So our students leave during the day and go work with those particular businesses here in the community to help our students learn about transitioning into adulthood.
I love to hear that. Even when they're not out on a job site, I feel like students are getting a lot of experience just as a parent. My children will talk about, oh, so-and-so came to speak at our class today, the internships, but also just being able to be out there in the community.
Yeah, we do have a lot of people, usually parents who volunteer, but sometimes community members who come in and do like Laker talks. So they will talk on a specific area that's their profession to our high school students so they can learn a little bit more about what they do. So that's something that if you're in the community and you'd be interested in doing that, more so than just the career talks that we do have a career fair at middle school, but this is more at the high school. It's a little bit more detailed. We also you hear a lot of kids who will intern at like OHSU. That is something that is a great opportunity for some of our students who are interested in research. I know that we've had students, and actually I've had people ask this too, kids get involved in that because if you just go to OHSU's website, you will be able to apply for internships for high school students as well as college students. And I've had students who have done biomedical research there, cardiovascular research, quantitative biology and biophysics, some really detailed positions that our students have held at OHSU, and it really does help them decide what they are possibly interested in for college.
Yeah, I love that. When it comes to students, there's all kinds of data about talking about students going to college or just heading into the trades. What's the percentage of our students that end up going to college?
Across both high schools together, it's between 90 and 93% of our students go to 2 or 4-year colleges.
Awesome. Are you able to track them anyhow 5 years out or anything like that? I imagine that was difficult, but I'm just curious. Do we know?
Yeah. In some ways we do. When they finally decide where they're going at the end of their senior year, we do ask the question of whether or not we can stay in contact with them, and we do get their email address at that time. So we're able to connect with them and kind of track where they are 5 years later.
And that includes students that didn't go down a college track as well.
Correct. That's whether they're going to college, workforce, military. We do have some kids who take a gap year and try to figure out what they want to do. So as long as they say that they'll stay in touch with us, and we have about 50% rate of people who will contact us back. So that's
pretty darn good. High, yeah, actually. That's great.
Every pathway matters, and we want to make sure that we prepare them for whatever it is that they're doing. And so that's important for us to get kids from all those areas and find out what we could do better to help them.
Absolutely. As far as other practical experience, I know the mock interview process is there for both of the high schools where every student that's in that advanced communication skills, thank you, they all get the opportunity to apply and to interview for a real job. They come out with a resume. I mean, that is certainly something that most students in other schools do not have. That's super helpful and brings in the business community to be able to do that. So we have not only parents, but other businesses that are coming in to actually conduct the interviews and choose a student for Jamba Juice or the theater or Dick's or what have you. And they really are having to put their hats on. And I know every time I volunteer for that, I think, oh my gosh, this community, we're so lucky to have them coming into the workforce because they're so articulate and motivated and smart, and their resumes are more amazing than mine already, and they haven't even graduated high school. So.
And now we have a new course called Career and College Readiness that is started being required by the state last year. So we're kind of piecing that together as we go. But a lot of those same skills are being taught in that class. So how do you find a job? How do you prepare your resume? How do you prepare yourself to interview? So a lot of that is also in there. There's other pieces in there too, like how do you rent a car? How do you pay your taxes? Things like that are all part of that as well.
Super important to get them, in a better space. What do you wish the schools could have when it comes to students entering the business community in the future? What are some things that we could be thinking about as businesses to support you?
I'd love to set more of a program up for internships and mentorship, to be honest with you. That would be fantastic too. But business is so broad. We have some great business classes at our high school, and we're very lucky. A lot of the programs around us don't have business anymore, which is kind of crazy because there's so many different businesses out there. But it's evolving every day. And so even though we teach core classes in communication or problem solving, really having that connection with someone who's doing the job, that's the best thing ever. It'd be great if we had more people from the community coming in and sharing what they're doing and how broad it is. And it's really important for us to be teaching kids the skills, like life skills that they're going to use, and not necessarily say, this is how you're going to be a business owner. Whatever it is, the jobs are going to keep changing, but the skills really don't. Being able to communicate, being able to problem solve. And those are the things that we want to make sure that people understand. Collaboration is really important no matter what the title of your job is. You need to be able to work with other people.
Absolutely.
Anytime we can have like that real world connection into our classroom can help students understand the range of careers out there for them. And I know that this community could definitely do that to help us.
So some kind of, whether it's just coming and doing a speech, saying a little bit about what they're doing, smaller group discussions, or the internships would be really great.
Absolutely. And also when we do have career fairs and things, getting people in the community to come out, that's fantastic. We had such a great career fair last week at the middle school, and I got to listen to so many of our families or parents or community members talk about their careers, and I was kind of in awe about what some people are doing. So
we can't lose you. You're not allowed to leave. Just saying.
I thought it was pretty neat. I'm like, okay, I could do that. I could see where my skills can translate over to this other job. And we also have job boards at our schools. And so if you're a business out there, whether or not it's the movie theater or a restaurant, and you're looking for a hostess, we do have a board that we can put up jobs for our high school students. I guarantee you will be very impressed with the students that come from our schools to apply for your jobs.
I did not know that. I'm so excited to hear. We talk about workforce development. You also have a huge workforce. How many teachers and staff do you have working with you?
We are actually the largest employer here in Lake Oswego. So we have about 950 employees.
Wow.
If you think of everyone from the librarian to coach, there's just a lot of people who have to work to make the system run smoothly. A lot of people are trying to manage.
A lot of people are trying to manage, and I'm sure need a pipeline for that.
As far as the pipeline for future educators, because we do try to get kids in our cadet teaching program, which is at high school, and we put our students into our elementary and our middle schools if they're interested in teaching. It kind of gives them that chance to be in a classroom and experience it firsthand, everything from cutting out the circles to, having a small group instruction. So I think that can be really powerful. But I think the biggest pipeline just happens to be from our fantastic, amazing, influential teachers who work with these kids every day. And the kids admire who they are. And I think we get students who want to be teachers because they love their teachers. They have such great relationships with them. And they see the difference it makes for them, and they want to do that for other people.
Absolutely. You mentioned that a lot of teachers and staff are living and working here. That's awesome. What are some things that you hope, though, for the ideal living situation for some of our folks to be able to even pull in more?
Well, if you would ask some of them, I think they would want more affordable housing here in Lake Oswego so a teacher could afford a home. What we see in Lake Oswego with our students is as people get more experience in whatever job they're in and they're making more money, that's usually when they move into Lake Oswego. As most people know, teachers aren't on the highest paid, even though the teachers in Lake Oswego are.
Compared to
we
other
do take care
teachers.
of them. We do take care of them, but it still might not be enough to afford some of the homes here in Lake Oswego. So it would be great at some point if we did have, at least for new teachers, some kind of housing option for them to get their feet in the door and get them working well on their way into being able to afford something here in Lake Oswego. I would want everyone to live here.
I know. They spend so many hours at the school anyway, so just the commute part is really difficult.
They love what they do,
Yes,
though,
they do.
and I think that's, it doesn't feel like work when you're doing it.
Definitely. The other thing that's coming up for me right now, we have the foundation, and the foundation is certainly something that helps support the school district and helps to make it as awesome as it is, I know there's a lot of businesses that also support the foundation through sponsorships and stuff like that. So what's coming up in my mind too is ways that the business community can get involved, not only from a workforce development side, but also to keep the school district as awesome it is, to keep it a place where employees want to come and move and stay and grow and have their family, to be able to support things like the foundation and, of course, the bonds and the levies that come up as well. So yeah, just
Yes.
kind of thinking that. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, or if
One of the things that makes Lake Oswego so unique is that people use their time, treasure anything that they have to make or build up our schools. Yeah, we definitely would like them to continue that, whether or not their company does a match for the foundation, which puts direct teachers into our classroom, that allows us to offer unique classes or lower class sizes, or if they are volunteering in our schools, which also is something we need. We need lots of different people in our schools for a variety of reasons. You can look at we have small reading groups at one of our elementary schools that's completely run by volunteers, and there's 65 adults who come in and read with children. It's a lot of people. So if you think that there isn't a way for you can help, there is. And give me a call, because I'll be able to find a place for you. And there's a variety of things that we have people do here that help us.
anything else that we should be aware of.
Can't think of anything except for thank you to the business community for everything that they do for us and that they continue to do, and our pathways at our high schools that are really leading people into the job force, as people keep saying. And so, just being there for our students, hiring them, giving them the mentorship that they need to be successful, and continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
The Chamber is a great partner, so we love working with them.
Well, and I am curious, like the Chamber, and I don't see very many school districts plug into the Chamber and have the city chamber on our board. There's always a representative from the city, the Chamber, as well as the Lake Corporation, and as well as the school district.
I don't hear other superintendents going to some of the meetings that I go to. But again, that ties into the connection that I feel is so important in this community.
Yeah. When we know what's going on with the schools, we can help support it, but vice versa, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can ask for your help. Well, thank you so much for your time, your energy, all you do for our students. Your passion certainly comes through, and I love that I get to have time with you today.
Thank you so much for having me, and anytime.
And now, Liz, what do we need to know in LO? May is a busy month. I mean, every month is busy. Do we want to talk about the move, where you're going to end up?
Well, we're going to be moving, and we will be going to 311 B Avenue, Suite E, just across the street from the fire station and Lola's over on B Avenue. We're looking forward to this being a more permanent location, and we'll be welcoming drop-ins after May 15th.
All right. What else is going on?
The wine walk is just around the corner. And it wouldn't be May without Mother's Day, which means Oregon Wine Walk. Come to Director's Mortgage on Saturday, May 9th and register at 1 p.m. so you can walk to 29 locations between 2 and 5 p.m. We have big thanks to our sponsor, Oswego Mortgage. We have 60 wines. You get 12 tickets. You get 1-ounce pours. And you will have a fabulous day walking on Boone's Ferry Road. We have 3 shuttles this year. The shuttles make things go a whole lot faster.
I bet.
Good Vibes Tour, we have Mary's Woods, and we have the Springs at Lake Oswego, all providing shuttle buses.
The big part of this, too, is that the Chamber is really encouraging people to get to know the businesses along the Boone's Ferry Road. And I just can't say enough how awesome that was. My first time doing the wine walk, going and getting into some of these businesses that I didn't even know exist, because when I'm driving down Boone's Ferry, I'm really just focused on getting to where I'm going. And I just love that we do this to help elevate our business community members within that area.
We're welcoming some new pouring locations, too, like Hefe and Paulson's, which is brand new on Boone's Ferry Road. And we have a number of places that are pouring in Mercado Grove.
Yeah.
And it looks like we have Body 20 and Grassa and Maison de Burgundy.
They're all really excited to have us, and they're trying to come up with some really fun ways to keep people engaged and excited.
We also want to tell you that this month's networking will be at the Windward on May 8th with Affordable Estate Planning, Mad Sass Soap on May 14th, Lions Capital Mortgage on May 22nd, and Fendon Properties at the Arts Council on May 29th. So every Friday is going to be a fantastic networking opportunity. Last week, for the first time, we exceeded 100 people at networking. So pretty thrilled that networking keeps growing.
We always tell you where to park and what the parking situation is like. So don't let that stop you, okay?
Well, always check the newsletter for the parking
check
situation.
the newsletter every Tuesday.
Yep. We always want to boost the affiliate groups, particularly our LO Tech Connect, because they are going to have a special evening Tuesday, May 19th. They will be at Ironlight, but you will need reservations, so go to the website and reserve for this one. Every quarter, we will have one of these special events for LO Tech Connect.
Well, thank you, ladies. Once again, another episode on the web. Thank you for listening, and remember that every day is a Chamber of Commerce Day here in Lake Oswego.
The Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce thanks you for listening to Business LO. We would love to have you as a member so you can help Lake Oswego continue to be one of the best places to live, work, and play. If you want to share an idea for a future episode or become a member, visit us at lakeoswegochamber.com, and please like and follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And for help with your business podcast, go to modcastproductions.com.